Welcome back to Toy Savages. But we are
Mhm.
now the
Savage Toy
Savage
Show.
Toy Show.
Episode Trace.
Now that we're officially toy in the title, there's a lot of things we can't do anymore.
Yeah, we can still do them.
Can't talk about coronavirus.
Right.
We unofficially have our first case. It's not been put out to the public, but not my hometown, but the town I drive to work my part-time job.
Corpus.
Yeah.
There's a confirmed case in Corpus.
It's not official though yet. They're not
It is now.
But I have
Because once this goes viral,
yeah, I wasn't gonna say
people
Corpus,
know.
but
Obviously, we're
someone
going
else
to be on the
Corpus.
CBS Even News.
Yeah. So I'll probably be disappearing pretty soon. Because it only gets people 50 and up, and I'm 49 and a half. So I'm safe.
No, you're not. You're 45.
I'm 45.
It's been nice knowing you, Kevin.
That's still too close.
Younger people have caught it.
A lot of people have gotten it and gotten over it just fine.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, this has been going on since December, but they're only making a big deal out of it now. A lot of people already had all those symptoms and gone through it and cleared just naturally. It's going to pass on its own also. All you can really do is treat the effects of it. You can't do anything about it. It runs its course. It's a virus. It's not a
There's
bacteria.
no inoculation.
There's no cure for it. So your body will naturally take care of it if you're healthy.
Yeah, because they're saying that it's similar to the flu, but there's no like flu vaccine for this. But even with the flu vaccine, I've gotten the flu shot. I always get my flu shot,
and then you always get the flu.
And I've gotten the flu after. That's happened like once to me. So, it's just like that, sort of in a way, I guess. So
yeah.
But like I said, I guess they're working on that vaccine. But it's just one of those things. Yeah, like you said, you just have to use common sense and try to stay healthy, I suppose.
Yeah. And the main three side effects of it will be fever, dry cough, and what was the third one? I think it was like maybe congestion. But basically that's like everything.
Pretty much flu symptoms,
Yeah, flu-like symptoms.
Yeah.
Weakness, body aches, tiredness.
Diarrhea, cha-cha-cha.
That's why the toilet paper shortage.
Right.
Oh, people, man. Everything's empty over here. My wife she texted me. It's like, when you get out in the morning, find bread before you come home. Because our small town, there's no bread.
And you're like, I'm already on the clock. I'm making money.
And the Purell shortage.
I need real bread. I need real bread.
Food bread.
I've got my.
You guys, you probably have plenty of ideas in the cabinet.
At the end of this, Brad's he's gonna be auctioning this Purell for $50.
Dude, you got it on clearance.
like my toys, I even buy my.
He took that off of a Marvel Legend. He took that yellow tag off of a Marvel Legend. Put it on the Purell.
I'm just that good, guys. I'm just that good. I buy my
price swapper. He's popping tags on the answer.
No.
It's crazy.
I bought that like months ago.
Well, it was a good buy.
Yeah, it was.
It was a good buy. So, have y'all had any luck with anything else?
Let's talk about toys. Let's talk about toys, man. What are you seeing in your stores?
Well, I've had some, pretty good luck. I ended up scoring that Red Hulk that everybody's after.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
I went to my was at my local Target. So got him. He's cool.
Oh, nice. $30.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And not the 80 that's on eBay.
No.
That is awesome.
Yeah. So I got him. He looks good. Haven't opened him yet, but I will soon. I'll probably shoot a video or something like 6 months from now or something like that. But
hell yeah.
6 months from now.
I can't wait to see it.
But
your last upload was 3 months ago.
Yeah, it's been a while. But
Rocksteady and Bebop.
I'm working behind the scenes on just kind of, I'm always kind of tweaking stuff like that. I'm working on a new intro. A buddy of mine, he's got me some new theme music that he wrote for me. So
Nice.
I'm always,
Sharper than a JC Penney's.
even when
Does
I'm
it have that? Does it have that retro vintage kind of vibe to it?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. It's got that sort of late 70s, early 80s feel to it, So yeah, anytime I'm having downtime on my channel, I'm always trying to do something, creatively behind the scenes. So but yeah, I have another follow-up video to that Bebop and Rocksteady planned. I want to just show off the rest of those turtles, like the cartoon turtles and then the cartoon villains. I think I was going to do it that way. And then I have a video where I actually I reached out to Diamond Select because they have those new cartoon busts that they're releasing, like the statue busts. And they sent me the Cyclops to do like a review on that. So I've got to make a review for those guys. So
that's freaking awesome.
I couldn't believe that they, actually, I just on a whim, reached out to them on Facebook and they were like, send us your info. And I started emailing them back and forth and, they sent it to me. So, I'm looking forward to, I'm hoping that, becomes like a regular thing. I'd love to do, more stuff for them. So
that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Has anyone encountered the Sugarland wave in person?
Mm-mm. I'm honestly not even, interested. Maybe like that Apocalypse in there, but that's probably the only one that I'm kind of interested in.
I love that the Apocalypse is a standalone purchase because you don't have to bath them.
I don't know. I never read that, Age of Apocalypse story, so I don't know any of those, characters really. So, and I try not to just buy stuff if I don't really know the character. I've never, I'm not familiar with them. I don't try to. Sometimes I will just if I like it, but usually I just try to stick with stuff I know.
To stay in your collecting parameters. Yeah. Of course, you would want the character to mean something to you.
Yeah.
Now, there are those who buy them just because it's a new release, whether they have knowledge of the character or not. I personally can't do that either. I don't have interest or the kind of money to do that. It has to be a character that has value to me as a geek, as a comic book nerd. But I will say my introduction to Age of Apocalypse is in the 90s. During the cartoon, there was a storyline where Bishop came into play and he was talking about the future so messed up unless they band together against, the people running the Sentinels. And there was a glimpse of heroes from present day and the future not being on the same side anymore. Like, for instance, Cyclops and Wolverine. Officially, they never got along great to begin with. But in that storyline, Wolverine claws out one of Scott's eyes. So he only has half the optic glass. And Cyclops took off one of Wolverine's hands permanently. It could not grow back in that fight. So they will never be teammates again if that future came. That was one thing that really stuck out to me growing up because I favored Cyclops over Wolverine. I admired Cyclops, Leonardo type leadership, the Boy Scout mentality thing, So that was kind of wicked, that storyline.
Yeah, that's
they covered that in the animated series, Harry.
They did. It
really...
wasn't as full blown as the comics, but they did give us a little taste of what was going on in the comics.
I think I stopped watching the series about halfway through, or maybe like the last couple seasons. I never did watch it, but I have it on DVD, so I need to sit down and catch up and finish the rest of it.
Yeah,
it was a good series. But that's kind of like the extent of my X-Men knowledge because I never really read any of the comics or collected any of the comics. Occasionally they cross over with Spidey, because I was more of a Spider-Man guy, comic book, in my comic book collecting. So
Marvel's partnership with Fox Kids was brilliant because It brought so many obscure. To me, X-Men was obscure property. I was Ninja Turtles. I was, the DC superheroes on first name basis, but Marvel not so much. But when those cartoons hit, then I wanted to know more about the Marvel universe. If it had for that, the cartoon connection.
Yeah, they really made those characters more accessible to a new generation, I think.
Right.
Agreed. This guy looks good, man. I don't know if it's the hype or what, but I'm getting drawn into this damn character here.
Yeah.
Figure.
Yeah, I
need
never
one, bud.
I never got that the original Bath that they put out, and I mean I have
You
that
need one,
Marvel
Kev.
I have that
Yeah,
Marvel the Marvel Select Red Hulk, which I love. I love that one, but man, I just love the face sculpt on this one probably more than anything, you know. So yeah.
Well, the posability on this one is far superior.
And honestly, I don't mind. Hulk is one of my favorite characters besides Spidey. Like, kind of like, sort of like Spider-Man, Hulk, Captain America. Those are, and maybe Silver Surfer. Those are kind of like my 4 favorites, you know.
Yeah.
But so I have a lot of Hulk figures, and I don't mind having another one. I don't mind having 2 Red Hulks just because I like having. With my favorite characters, I like having like multiple ones, you know, just display. I think it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I love having the same thing. If it's a character I love, I like all the variants of it. I get my hands on.
Oh yeah,
like that's cool. I like all these colors.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is like this one kind of lines up with all those other ones that they've released. Those those newer Hulks, which I've got all those except for that San Diego Comic-Con exclusive one, like the modern one. I think.
Yeah.
I didn't get that one, but that's fine. I don't because I think
I'm
it's
glad
like
they changed the face though.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that one's probably the least coolest one, like that modern looking one. I think all the other ones look way better.
Here's another hot figure, Kevin, in the collecting world right now.
The one I was about to bring up.
On.
This one's being found at mostly at Walmart, right? And a lot of people have pre-ordered at GameStop.
Walgreens didn't get this either.
It's possible.
They carry McFarlane's.
I've not seen any of the Mortal Kombats at any of my Walgreens.
Oh, you found Bloodshot at Walgreens, right?
Yeah, I found Bloodshot and I found this Rocketeer Diamond Select.
And what about My Hero Academia McFarlane's? Are those at Walgreens?
No, not that I've seen.
I haven't seen any.
What you thought on this one, Brad? What do you think of this updated Spawn?
I mean, not really a big Spawn fan, but I really like the look of that one. Like, I can see why people are like going nuts over this one.
Are you a Mortal Kombat fan?
Not really. I mean, I never really played it back in the day. I didn't have a Sega. I knew a friend that had one, and I'd only occasionally get to play it, but but I mean, I do like the character designs in Mortal Kombat. Like, I like Raiden probably the best. He's like my favorite, I think. But yeah, I mean, I guess like these are in scale and these like line up with those other ones that they've been releasing.
Yeah, these are definitely the 2 hottest toys out right now, I think, for the retail stores.
Yeah, I think this whole lineup looks pretty good. I've seen the stores; they look awesome.
When you finally land this one, will you compare it to the OG like '93 Spawn?
Yeah, I've got a bunch of those old '90s. I mean, it's hard to compare a 5-point articulation toy or less to this. He
just
went all out
kicks
on
at the tattoo parlor, just side by side.
Yeah, it'd be good to show the. What I like about how McFarlane handled this is his stuff is mostly statue almost, except for a couple of points of articulation. But every now and then he comes out with something like to show that he was pretty much did the articulation thing before a lot of other people. He was doing a lot of stuff that wasn't being done back then. He had the ab crunch, the double elbow knee. He was doing that before it was a common thing.
They're so
he can do it.
The joints on his toys are so stiff.
The older stuff, especially, I think he's got.
Yeah, man, it's very brittle, easy to break.
I think that was a plastic issue. Maybe they were using cheap plastic. I don't know what it was, but
They were
you open
so
up a
they were
90s
meant to be
toy.
posed and left alone. They weren't designed to play with it.
I've opened several up from the 90s that are falling apart on me.
Yeah, they're very
Sitting
easy
in
to
the
break.
plastic. Yeah.
Isn't the McFarlane multiverse getting criticism about it's like the ankle joints are really weak and
On the new stuff, I haven't heard. I can't quite get into. I'm on the fence. Like I like the animated line of the
Mhm.
Yeah.
newest stuff, but I wish it was like an inch shorter. I mean, it's hard for me for it being over 7 inches and animated. It just doesn't. I
You
mean,
know,
I'm not
Brad.
big. I'm not big on height for the toys. I'm not. My
Brad
stuff
and
is big.
animated. If it's animated, Brad's got his interest on it.
Yeah, I did buy those animated ones.
They
Are you
look
not
good.
leaving them in the
I
box?
just don't like the legs are this long.
Yeah, they are. I mean, I definitely like the DC collectible stuff way better as far as like the DC, as far as like the Batman animated series, all the the DC animated figures they've done, which I know a lot of people criticize those, but I just think like for me, it's not really about like articulation and all that. It's just about like the really the sculpt of it. Does it look like the character? And I think those DC collectibles ones they kind of nailed it in that respect. So, and these new McFarlane ones, I feel like across the board they're sort of like just sort of like taking a few elements from different areas and applying them. They're not sort of like sticking to like a model sheet or whatever of the character. They're saying like, okay, well, let's do this, but we'll add our own flair to it, sort of. And I think McFarlane's always kind of done that. So, it doesn't surprise me that, that people are kind of getting bent out of shape about that kind of stuff. But, but I think overall they're pretty cool. I mean, I've seen the reviews of those McFarlane DC figures, and for the most part, they have issues, but I mean, it didn't really bother me that much. So, I mean,
that's why I say I'm on the fence, because if I just didn't like them, it wouldn't be. I do like them. Some of them are crazy, like crazy nice, like that new Superman and I forget what the Batman was called, but that one that's like a real detailed suit.
The armor.
Those
armor Superman.
Yeah, those those are awesome. Like I did find those, and it may be like I may kind of treat the McFarlane DC line kind of like I treat Marvel Selects, like, and maybe only get like the bigger characters because those big bulky characters like the Hellbat and the Superman Unchained, like those look awesome. Like those are like the best ones that they've done.
Look at this Venom that can ooze.
That is cool.
Yeah, that's like some of I think there's like some slime toys that they're doing.
That's dope.
You know what I've seen so far, like that's supposed to be the newest stuff, is I've been running into the Pixar toys now. I'm seeing all of them that we were talking about the other day.
Really?
I've seen I've seen Sully. I've seen the Monsters Inc. I've seen both Wall-E and they're in a 2-pack. It says Pixar on top, and it's a 2-pack.
Well, you ain't seen them Spotlight ones though, huh?
No, not the Spotlight yet.
The Spotlight ones is like the Marvel Legends version of those.
Now, I've seen those, Kevin. Those individual ones. Now, apparently, there's like some sort of like gift set or a gift pack that has like all of them together. I think, and I think it might just be. I forget who's in it, but I haven't seen it, but I've seen it in other people's videos. But they've just kind of like walked past it,
Right.
But I know it has the Monsters Inc. guys in that set, and it also has a Randall exclusive figure. Randall, remember he had the multiple legs and the glasses.
Yeah.
He was kind of like the bad guy in Monsters Inc. That's supposed to be like a Target exclusive, I think, and it's got multiple Pixar figures in it. So I think I might pick that up if I ever find it, just because that'll be sort of like, I think a better bang for my buck, I guess.
For sure, get them all.
Yeah.
This is the new line by the Grocery Gang guys, Moose Toys.
Yeah,
and
these are Moose toys.
Speaking of Pixar, I don't know. I think, Kevin, you may have seen them in a video, but there's like a new line of the little aliens, the little alien guys from Toy Story.
The Claw.
Yeah, they're wearing
They
like
have different gimmicks.
they're wearing different like Pixar related character outfits.
I run into those like 3 different ones.
Oh, that one looks cool.
Those
I
I
ran
like.
into them. I want to say at Target.
I like those. I think those are they're kind of sort of like it seems like they're going for the sort of the Funko Pop thing with those maybe, but I like those. I might just kind of play the long game on those maybe. I don't know if I want to pay. I think they're like $6 or $7 or something like that.
Yeah, me too. I like these as well. I kind of like the head sculpts on them. They have like I think they have a vehicle and there's a vehicle pack. But yeah, those Pixar, the 2-packs I was talking about. Yesterday was the first day I've ever seen them at my Walmarts, and they're 2-packs. Like it has the little girl with Sully 2-pack, and then it has. Yeah, I've never seen those, and it has Eve and Wally in a 2-pack.
Yeah, Wally. Yeah.
And then I think the big guy. What's the big guy's name? Sully. Sully's by himself.
Yeah.
He's by himself. He's a big guy. But these are newly packaged toys that we're getting.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like you said, the alien ones where they have different gimmicks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
I finally did see, and of course, they have the Onward toys out. I finally did see Onward. If you guys, it's a good movie.
Oh, how'd you like it?
Obviously, I'm biased because I love Pixar, but it was fun.
Pixar can't do no wrong in your eyes.
It was fun. I mean, it's not one of those like super serious Pixar movies. Like you don't have to go. You don't have to take a box of tissues to the theater. I mean,
like Up.
There's
it's not as heavy as Up.
There's a small scene kind of toward the end that gets a little bit emotional, but it's nothing. I don't think it's that terrible. You know what I mean? So, but it was just a fun movie. I really enjoyed it a lot. The visuals, were a lot of fun. All the characters were pretty good. So I recommend it if you guys are interested in that.
Show off the new Savage Toy Show banner. Yeah, I'm excited about seeing that show. I like everything Pixar does.
Yeah,
I really liked. What was the one with the different emotions?
Yeah,
Inside Out.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Now the
wife and I love that one.
There's actually 2 Pixar movies come out later. They showed that. I don't know if you guys saw the trailer for Soul, but that's coming out later this year.
Oh yeah.
I think it comes out in June, maybe, unless it gets pushed back because of Corona. But that one looks very similar to Inside Out. Like as far as like, it almost seems like Inside Out, but they're dealing with like the spiritual world instead of like the emotional world. You know what I mean? So. It looks like it'll be kind of a heavy duty, kind of a pull at your heartstrings kind of a movie. So, it almost seems like, even though they're doing 2 movies this year, they did one that was just kind of fun, and that one seems a little more serious, So,
yeah,
but
they'll all be good, I'm sure. They put a lot of quality into it.
Yeah, that new trailer for Soul looked amazing. If you guys haven't seen it, you should totally check it out.
My wife's all excited about it. She was.
I like Coco.
Coco was good.
Yeah, Coco. Man, I was like bawling my eyes out.
That was a good one.
And I was like,
that one was good.
I was like in the theater, like crying.
Oh yeah,
embarrassing.
And then you look at the little kid staring at you like a weirdo. You're like, shut up.
Yeah,
shut up, little kid. Don't judge me.
I was with my nephew. He's older. He's like college age, But of course,
I cried at Infinity War.
He was just sitting there, stone faced. But I was just sitting there like,
I cried in Infinity War when Spider-Man went to dust on Tony. This little girl sitting. The theater was crowded. It was the first showing, so.
Right.
The girl looked at me like a fucking weirdo.
You see that Corona meme with Spider-Man?
I'm like, shut up, kid. You don't know me.
That Corona meme when Tom Holland saying, I don't feel good.
I just saw that.
He's got the mask.
Yeah.
It would be nano. I'm a nano mask.
Yeah.
Shit.
Right.
I love when he pulled the strings on the tracksuit and it became the armor.
That was cool.
Yeah.
That was so sick. Seeing where it evolved from when he used to have the giant fucking suitcase that he had to stand on it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. It was all
And now
bulky
he's just literally pulling his track shoot strings and the nanos are coming out of it.
I'm excited to get past Wonder Woman and get into the next 10-year, storyline.
Yeah.
Oh, Black Widow.
Did I say Black Widow? Did I say Wonder
Well, they
Woman?
coming out at
Gal
the same
Gadot.
time. It'd
I
be
kinda-
interesting to see who does better in the box office, Wonder Woman or Black Widow.
I kind of feel like Black Widow is going to be sort of like, still sort of like, like we had
It's still
we had Endgame, and then we
yeah.
had
Part of
the
that.
Spider-Man Far From Home. That was kind of like an epilogue to Endgame,
All right.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like this Black Widow, since it's kind of a prequel movie, it's going to be sort of a retrospective looking back,
Like closure for that character.
But I really feel like the kickoff for the next big thing is going to be Eternals, like later this year. Like that's going to be the sort of like the thing that pushes us into the next big cosmic threat or whatever. Is going to be following or kind of that runs through all these the next phase or whatever. So
Yeah.
and that's just I'm just speculating, but I kind of have
I'm
a feeling that that's
Yeah. Hopefully so. I mean, it makes sense. Do you think the New Mutants might tie in at all, or is that a?
I heard they did something. They like refilmed some scenes to try to tie it in some way, maybe, or I don't know if that's true or not. But
I used to love the late '80s, early '90s New Mutants comic books, and I was pretty close to the characters then. So I hope.
I don't know nothing about the New Mutants. I don't know what they're. I have no knowledge of what that story is about.
I think I have a few of those comics. Those early covers were awesome. The covers on those look amazing.
So they're not. They don't go to the school. They're not Xavier's.
I think they don't. They have them like hostage almost, like they have them in basically like a camp because of their abilities. Keep them locked up. Oh yeah, man, that's a good face sculpt for him. I like how they do the chest hair too. They did really well from what it looked like.
I'm kind of disappointed in this head. I don't really think.
But that's how he looks. He looks all greasy when he has his hair down like that.
Like that was more of his heel look. Now he's baby face again.
He should have a little. He should come with a
Open
little comb,
hands.
like a little plastic
Comb.
comb, so he can brush his hair.
A comb.
One of my biggest problems. I like him and I like his character, but for me, when I watch wrestling, I like my big guys to have power moves. I don't like them. Their sole move is a kick. Leave that with the little guys that don't have the strength to lift up people.
The
He needs a
Claymore.
power.
The
He
Claymore.
needs a power move.
He needs a.
He needs something else to go with it. Yeah, like a
Maybe he's
pre-finisher.
gonna steal the F5 from Lesnar.
I don't even like the F5. It's not that devastating looking. He looks good. They did a good job on him.
This is
He's got
removable.
like a 22
This
pack.
comes off. This guy stays fit, dude.
Yeah, he don't mess around.
He
For
works
as
out
big
4
as he
times
is.
a week. The story of this wrestler, Brad, is years ago, he was McMahon's hand-picked prodigy that McMahon labeled as the future of the sport. And then fast forward 10 years later, he's not being featured on the TV much. He's a joke character. They let him go. And he goes back to Europe and he starts all over again. He gets back in the gym, works his ass off. He gets rehired to WWE. He climbs the ranks again. And now he's going to challenge for the world title. So
He was very skinny back then.
ask your brother about the incredible comeback story. It's a true Cinderella Man story.
Okay.
If you remember vaguely a group of 3 clowns that would come out playing air guitar called the 3-Man Band, he was one of those guys. His gimmick got so bad, he was wasted as a sideshow character, and he was one of the 3-man bands.
Okay.
He was pretty skinny.
He came back.
You know how
beef,
Vince likes his men. Vince likes his men bulky and
beefy,
ripped.
like them overstuffed raviolis, the beefier
Yeah.
ones. That's
He
how
wants
Vince
them to
likes his
be
wrestling.
exaggerated looks. You gotta look
Overstuffed.
exaggerated. If you're like doing television and you're basically a circus,
This
for
dude's so
entertainment,
big that Lesnar has
you
to
want
look
him.
up to him. Lesnar has to look up to Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, he's taller than Lesnar by a couple of inches. He's a few inches taller. Lesnar's
Lesnar
only like
normally
6'3".
Normally Lesnar doesn't have to look up to anybody besides
He's
Big
not
Show.
that 6'3" is a good size. I mean, that's a good size for a man, but there's way bigger wrestlers than 6'3", you know? A lot of them are sitting at 6'4", 6'5" easily. It's just that he has that massive, bulky body, too. That's what makes him look like a freak. But he's gotten in better shape lately, but he's let himself go a little from time to time.
So
This guy's
this
in
guy,
better shape.
since he won the Royal Rumble, this figure has quadrupled in value.
Wow.
It's a $20 figure retail, but on eBay, Amazon, he's going for $50 or more.
I've never seen him in the wild.
Now
I got him for $25 plus shipping, so I'm happy. It wasn't pure scalper. It's more than retail, but it's not what
Not much.
they're getting
Not
for.
too bad.
I've seen this thing go for as high as $75. I would never pay that personally, but I'm happy to have him in the collection.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
He's going to be a big role, so it's good to have, too.
The champion, El Champion.
Le Champion.
So what else we going to talk about? Who wants me to pull something up on show? Oh, he's got something to share.
That's the slime pit He-Man. That one's like
show and tell.
Him and Triclops.
Yeah,
two big Motu pops out.
What's the story besides
I left
that
out, I mean, this is one of the Emerald City Comic Con ones. Like, there's the sticker there. I picked it up at my GameStop. Luckily, one of my local GameStops, the lady who works there, she's like super nice, and she hooked me up. Kind of held it for me until I got off work, So I was able to go and pick it up, and they actually had some Pezzas too. Kevin, I know you like the Pezzas.
Yeah,
I got the like Evil Lynn one.
Oh, Evil Lynn.
And they had some other ones, but I think one of the other ladies at the other GameStop, she said she'd hold those for me, so I might pick those up next week. But let me pop this guy out here. So this is just kind of like I think originally, like, they never made a figure of this guy in the original He-Man line, but
because it was a vintage villains playset. It was what's his name, Skeletor slime pit thing, like a playset.
Yeah.
But they never had a He-Man being slime that I could ever remember.
There was the so you can see it's kind of like semi-translucent there. I mean, when you look at it, it looks really cool. I think there was the Evil Horde slime pit that was like part of like Hordak's thing. I think it was, and I want to say that there was a story from the comics, one of the mini comics that had a character or maybe it was like part of I think it was part of the story that was like on the packaging of the slime pit. Like, it would show like the characters getting slimed like on the back of their artwork, and then they would be crawling out of the slime pit and they'd be zombies, but they never really made any figures from the original line. I think they did make a Masters of the Universe Classics figure, but which I didn't get because I think that was like a con exclusive, PowerCon exclusive maybe. But so I was happy, that they're continuing with the He-Man pops, and I was kind of super pumped that they made this one because I think it's like super awesome. Oh, Dave, what's happening?
Welcome, David.
What's going on, fellas?
Son of Blucher. Look at that pop he's got.
Yeah.
Oh, you got the slime pit one?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got it Friday. Picked it up at
Okay.
GameStop. Mm-hmm.
Well, I had just got done recording 3 videos for
Wow.
my eBay purchases, you know. So I think y'all gonna like what I have. So,
Nice.
The hauls keep coming and they don't stop coming.
nope. So what are we
Pretty
looking
good.
at
Look
here?
Brad. Faker John Cena.
That is cool.
He's translucent.
I saw Kevin's video, and I think Craig picked him up too on the Not Another Retro channel. I saw him pick one up. I'm trying to find one of those because my brother is collecting those. But if I find that John Cena, I might just pick one up for myself because I really do like those. Translucent characters. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, that character is kind of like pretty much based off of the Thugonomics character. Because if you look at the accessories that he, oh, you finally got one, didn't you?
Drew McIntyre.
That's awesome. But yeah, that Faker is kind of based off the Thugonomics gimmick. You know, if you look at the accessories and stuff, then I think that's pretty cool. Though at least they kind of diversified it a little bit. You know, so it wouldn't be exactly the same one like you would get when you picked up if you got the ring with the 2 figures.
Yeah.
You got something to share, Blucher?
This is what I got you, Harry.
Show and tell.
This is for you, Harry, that I'm going to send you.
Let me see. Orlando.
Well,
Yep.
what do we have here?
Well. You old son of a.
And then you got your other world guard.
45.
just all the catchphrases.
So, Harry, these are for you. You know.
Thanks, brother.
So, no problem. I was shocked. You know, I was a little bummed because I couldn't find them earlier because everybody else was finding them. And I was like, dang, maybe they just sold out like that. And all of a sudden, next thing I know, they must have that first day that I went to and I saw those because they had like the that one guy that everybody wanted.
Cody or something like that. The clone trooper.
Yeah, the blue outfit.
Wolf.
Yeah, something like that.
One of
But
them
anyway.
damn clones.
Yeah, but they must have had like three cases or something because there's like 3 of each, like literally. And then the next day when I went back to go pick those up for you, they were all gone, like literally.
Yeah.
So.
I didn't need him. It's fine. I'm not a big Clone Wars guy, so.
Uh-oh.
You got any dinosaurs?
No, not yet. I haven't picked up any of them yet. Not any new ones recently. I do need to check Target in my surrounding areas because I know that and Kohl's, because I know that they got some new stock in. So
I recently learned something that in some states Kroger's are called Fred Meyers. Are y'all aware of that?
Are they?
Nope.
I was wondering that if they were like affiliated, if they were like
They
the same
are.
company.
They're the same parent company.
Because I noticed like in a lot of people's videos, like when they go into a Myers, like the shelves and the stickers and everything, like the price stickers look similar.
It's got a Kroger vibe to it.
Yeah, it's got like the same branding, I guess, almost.
Yeah,
if you will,
same parent company.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I recently found out.
I occasionally go into my local Kroger to look for stuff, just because I usually go there and like get gas and stuff like that. Sometimes I'll get groceries, but
Is it one of those Krogers that is bigger than a traditional grocery store?
It's like a super Kroger. Yeah.
There's a okay.
But they rarely like restock there. Like it's always the same stuff.
Christmas time they'll get toys, and then they'll sell those toys until they're gone.
Yeah, they'll eventually.
They don't really restock.
they'll eventually put stuff on clearance, but even their clearance is kind of weak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Look at that guy.
I got something to share.
This is the first Cyborg that McFarlane produced.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That is sweet, man. I love cyborg characters. I really love, any kind of like cyborg character. That's awesome. Yeah.
Oh. Okay. All right. That looks pretty dope. Hell yeah.
It's a big guy.
Yes, the Total Chaos Collection.
Yeah, man. Got those for you, Blucher.
Appreciate it, sir. I just need to find a Duco for you.
I'll take a Big Show as well. The Elite Big Show.
Okay.
If you
The
see
new one when it comes with the
this one,
yeah, that one.
Elite 71. He's the same series that Drew's in.
Awesome.
I got
That
him
is-
today for non-scalper.
Congratulations, Ariam. I know you've been wanting him for a while.
I've been hawking. I've been watching and hawking and checking, and finally I seen one that was just a tad more than retail, and I jumped on it like those wolves on that Liam Neeson movie where the wolves are trying to eat him.
That's a good movie. The
Yeah.
Gray.
Yep. He's Liam Neeson, and I was the wolves.
I'll never forget. I went to see that in the theater, and at the end, I won't spoil anything, but if the ending of that movie,
We can just assume.
it's just sort of like
the way he
guess-
made them
open-ended,
gloves
sort of
with the
in a way.
glass.
But like, I remember the people in the theater were like,
The gloves
What?
with
You know, like,
shards of glass.
they were mad. I guess they were
Punching.
expecting like a big wolf fight, like in Taken or something. I don't know what.
They went to black.
I don't know
Yeah.
what they were thinking was going to happen, but I remember they were like so mad.
He was going to turn into a wolf.
But I liked it. I liked the ending. That was a decent movie.
I thought it was a great movie.
Yeah. Yeah, we have it on DVD here. That was when Liam Neeson was on the top of his game when he made his little comeback when he was pumping out 2 or 3 movies a year.
Yeah, his ass.
Oh yeah.
His ass was in like 4 different movies at the same time at the theater.
Yep.
Not all of them were great though. He had some stinkers.
But they all had the pretty much same plot.
Yeah.
Like the one where he has amnesia and he can't remember that he was a spy.
Yeah.
That one was so bad. That was a bad movie.
There's one that he did with called Run All Night with his son.
Oh, I actually like that one.
Yeah, that was pretty good too.
I like gritty crime movies though. I do. I'm a fan of that type movie, Black and Blue, Crooked
Yeah.
Cops. Such a big deal in New York, Crooked Cops,
I just realized how bent this missile is that came with the Cyborg. And then I just realized about that little marking right there. I don't know if you can see it, but it looked like somebody actually melted. It got melted or something. So, but it's all good though. He is complete. So I did clear out my bottom shelf because I had my last 2 bottom shelves I had on my middle bookcase. Those were where my G.I. Joe vehicles were set. But since I moved those in the living room, replaced them in the middle shelf beneath my TV. And so now I got space right there for that middle shelf to put the rest of my in future editions of my Spawn stuff. because the other section that I had was divided for one for like series one and a couple of obscure figures here and there. And then the other side of that shelf that shares is for my other non-DC Marvel collection, comic book figures, And if y'all seen that video, you'll know what I'm talking about with the Witchblade and stuff
Yeah,
like
I've
that.
seen it. The obscure comic book characters video.
Yeah, I really like those action figures. Those were produced by Claiborne Moore, and his toy company. And he's the one that produced those at the time.
I
And
have those. I have those original Futurama figures that Claiborne Moore's company put out.
mhm.
He put out like about 4 or 5 Futurama figures before I think Toynami eventually took over, that toy line. But I still have those.
Yeah, the what's this company called? Like Moore's Action Collectibles, I think.
Yeah, it was like MAC or something like that. It was like a logo. I remember the logo was kind of like an M. It was like all the letters forming a logo.
Yeah, he liked to make his women characters more well-rounded.
Oh, yeah.
But that was his style, though. That's what he liked, So he you could tell that he appreciates a woman's features and how they looked, and he put in his own image and they turned out just fine. Even though they're not articulated like that, they're just more kind of like more of like showcase, like collectibles are supposed to be, not toys, So, but yeah, those. I do want to get the rest of the Playmates Ninja Turtle Savage Dragon line. There's only like maybe 6 characters, I think. Like 2 of them, which were Savage Dragons. There's like a regular one and then a battle damaged one. And then you got She Dragon right there. And then you had 3 of the 4 turtles. I think there was missing one. And for some reason, they just didn't produce the other one. I think all they had was like Raph, Michelangelo, and Donatello. I don't think they did a Leo. And then they did like another person. Can't remember what it was. But yeah, those are characters that I mainly grew up reading and enjoyed as far as comic books went. If you're an avid comic book reader, of course you're gonna know your main DC and Marvel stuff, and then all the new characters that came out in the early '90s and stuff. But then I kind of ventured down outside of that as well. And got into the Image comics, the Spawn comics, the
Dark
Chaos
Horse.
comics, yeah,
Dark Horse
and Chaos comics and things like
Chaos. And Image.
that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
and Valiant Comics.
Yep.
Bloodshot.
Mm-hmm. So it's nice to be able to find these kind of things as well, so that way you can appreciate it, that you can look back and be like, man, I remember reading about this character and stuff. So that's what collecting's about.
Yeah, I would say out of all those early Image characters, I never read or collected any of those comics, but Savage Dragon was the only one that kind of appealed to me because it was kind of like a Hulk.
He was their
character,
closest thing that made it to that mainstream almost. Like he still felt, but he was their guy that had the potential to do it, and it almost looked like he was, and then it just faded out.
Yeah,
because that's why they made those 2 lines, series 1 and 2 of the Pit and Monkey Man Build-A-Figure series. What was called Legends of Superheroes, But it was more like characters that nobody really, knew about, like Madman and Witchblade and things like that. So, which was good because it showed that there are other characters out there that deserve, that kind of a spotlight, and then you had the Judge Dredd that came along with that too as well, and that was what originated where in Europe, I think, somewhere out there, and it wasn't what was it called, like 2080 or something like that. What was it?
Yeah.
Y'all remember what it was called? Was that what it was?
I think so. Yeah, I think it was. It was like I think it was like a UK imprint or something like that, and and it was so popular they eventually started, publishing those characters stateside. Yeah.
So, but those are the ones that I was more drawn to than anything else, So, I wish, hopefully, a company can pick up those licenses again and produce newer figures, like more up to date, That'd be kind of cool, though. I doubt it, though, but we'll see.
Yeah. We'll see.
Sounds like somebody's tired.
I'm exhausted.
Terry, I'm surprised you even wanting to do this podcast.
Of course I do. Well, I mean, it's going on an hour. Do you boys want to wrap this up then? What's that? Hang on. A bigger field of view there we can share.
Oh, he's cool.
Yep, it's part of the Spawn line. So
that thing's master.
Holy cow, that's really awesome.
Yeah, I forgot the name of the guy. I have the card back here in the room. I'm not with arm reach to reach, but I'm looking right at it. But this is a part of a Spawn line, McFarlane Toys line. And that's one thing that I've always regretted, I guess I could say, was I didn't give this chance to really sink in with me. Now looking back and looking at these things as compared to stuff that's being made, of course you got your collectible items, you got your toys that are made for collectibles or collectors, and for kids and stuff like that. You got your Legends, you got your Multiverse, you got your NECAs. But man, I mean, would this be something that would be appealing to kids? I mean, looking back at it, and you see this, if you're
You'd be a wicked kid,
you're 10 years old, 12 years old, maybe early teens, you look at this, and be like, what is that? And, you would bypass it because it's not something you're familiar with.
A twisted kid would want that toy.
Oh yeah. And then even though McFarlane's evolved over the years, looking back, he had the little articulation, then became more into kind of more statuesque type stuff. But still, this thing holds up to this day because this tail right here, it's all hard plastic, and then it sinks into like this bendable, rubbery, but there's no tears, no nothing like that.
It's seamless. It's seamless in the transition.
So
it's a neat.
And then the price point
catches your eye.
The price point for these back in the day, $12. And then imagine something like this came out today, like now.
$35. No less than $40.
Yeah, it's at least 40, 45. I'd say probably 45.
And I think that's just what got me drawn back into McFarlane. That's why I've been on that McFarlane-esque kick. And one of my videos that I did film earlier, is a McFarlane. And I think you'll appreciate that figure once you see it. I'm not going to say anything because it ruins
Is it the Curse of Spawn?
No. It's something I picked up off of eBay.
Oh, okay.
So
that Curse of Spawn looked really wicked too, though.
It's a series 2. I guess you could say Curse of Spawn 2. Kind of like how they have Violator 2, Violator 3. It's kind of like in that.
It made in that fashion, but another version.
Yeah. And that thing's it's pretty nice. I mean, I kind of don't want to take it out of the package, but I do because I want to display it and everything because it's a worthy, now. I do keep all my card backs. So everything that I open, unless if it's something that's just plain and boring, I just toss it. But like stuff that's like, like vintage, I keep the card backs because, plus, back then those figures, they came with like ID cards and stuff like the Joes did, like the Turtles did, and, the old Playmate stuff. And McFarlane did the same thing with the ID cards and stuff. So I keep all that,
Yeah.
So.
All right, boys, we're going on 1 hour. Let's go ahead and end this. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, boys, for participating.
Yeah, man.
On behalf of Kevin, we are the Savage Toy Show, and we are going to continue to make videos discussing our love of collecting, what we're seeing in the stores. We're going to put the spotlight on fellow creators in the hobby. That's the purpose of this new program. That's our focus. We're going to try and narrow the focus of this program to what that drives us to spend our hard-earned money on this crap. It's our love of collecting, and everything goes along with it. The heartache that when you do find, like me getting this at a non-scalper price, like sometimes the good guys win, and a lot of times we get screwed over. We just don't. Like Brad found the Red Hulk, That's all. He didn't have to pay scalper prices.
Awesome.
So,
that's pretty dope.
Yeah. So sometimes you just gotta wait. It doesn't happen every release, but every now and then we get rewarded. But thank you guys for watching. Like the video, comment below what you want to see in future episodes of this program, and we'll do our best to create it. I want to thank Dave. I want to thank Brad, the One Man Toy Show, and of course TTH. He was actually on his way to work or already at work. So we'll let you guys go and we'll catch you on the next upload.
Take it easy.
Thank you.